Hi, I'm Bob Houlihan, Missionary Educator. I'm always amazed how God opens doors for us, even sometimes when there doesn't seem to be a way, when the people, the lost, need to know about Jesus Christ. He does miracles. He wants us to get to the unreached. Even the Apostle Paul felt that. And most of us missionaries, we like to go where the gospel has not yet been preached. Like Paul, we don't want to build on some other foundation. I had the opportunity several years ago to see what God would do getting us to the nation of Cambodia. I was even in Vietnam trying to get there, and the Vietnamese military said that war was too hot, it was too difficult, you can't get in right now. So I waited a year and prayed and asked God, how can we get to this nation? Well, it was devastated. Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge had killed 1/4 of the nation. 2 million people out of 8 million. People were hurting. They needed the gospel of Christ. A friend of mine, we were in the nation of Vientiane, Trung, Laos, which is the neighboring country. We were there trying to find out if we could meet someone that could help us to get to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. We went to the ambassador's house from Cambodia. And at first it looked like it was difficult. There were big dogs that came out, and people just kind of scared us. And I said, well, we want to go to Cambodia. Can we meet the ambassador? We gave them, if you can imagine, we gave them our passports, not knowing if we'd ever see them again. And they said, come back tomorrow and we'll see if you can meet the ambassador. Well, we went and walked around the city trying to kill some time. And I went to a famous Buddhist temple where the green jade was. As I walked down that old staircase from that temple, I put my hand on the top of this old stone staircase. I noticed that the handrail was the back of a snake, the dragon. Well, you know in the scriptures, the dragon and his emphasis to try to stop the church. As I got to the base of that, I noticed that on the sides in the stone were the feet and the claws of the dragon. And in one of them, he had a small fish. And I heard the voice of the enemy say in my heart, you will not plant the church in Cambodia. I have it in my hand. I rebuke Satan. Greater is he that's in you and me than he that's in the world. God wants him to hear. Interestingly, the next day we went to the ambassador's residence. He invited us in, and this wonderful man talked to us for 2 or 3 hours about the nation. We talked about how we can help people. We want to help children. We're very interested in orphans and any of the work that we can do to bring the healing hands of Christ in the nation. He said, you come back in a month and I'll have visas for you. We came back in a month, and sure enough, we had visas. My friend Ken and I went into the nation and went to Phnom Penh, and through a series of unbelievable miracles, things that I could talk about hours about what God did to make it possible. Even how we went to Hanoi, we were arrested in Hanoi because of the Russians where they didn't want American Christians there. But God was still at work. We came and we began to meet some few Christians that were left over, and planted churches, and today there are hundreds of churches all over the nation, thousands of believers. I believe it's because we are impelled to go to the lost people. God wants us to get to the unreached, to go through those doors where people have never heard the gospel of Christ. Missionaries and workers all over Cambodian nation are doing great things for God. That's because we believe open doors are for us.